My wife forgot her old phone at home and it exposed everything I never believed in checking your partner's phone. I always thought that if you reached that point, the relationship was already broken. Trust was supposed to be simple. Either you had it, or you didn't. For 9 years, I trusted my wife. Her name was Lauren. We met in college, got married young, struggled through the broke years, bought a house, built careers, and had a daughter named Emma. Emma was 7 when everything happened. And that's the part that still hurts the most. Not just that Lauren betrayed me, but that she risked destroying our daughter's world for a man who sent her heart emojis and called her babe. For most of our marriage, I thought we were solid. Not perfect, but solid. We argued about normal things. Bills, chores, parenting, her mother visiting too much, my long hours at work. But I loved her. I was proud to be her husband. Then Lauren got promoted. She worked in marketing, and the promotion came with more money, more responsibility, and a lot more client dinners. At first, I was happy for her. I took her out to celebrate. I bought her flowers. I posted a picture of us online and wrote, "Proud of my wife." She commented with 3 hearts. Looking back, that might have been the last normal moment between us. A few months later, she started staying late more often. Big campaign. Client revisions. Team dinner. Drinks after the pitch. None of it sounded suspicious by itself. Then she started dressing differently. Better clothes. More perfume. New lingerie she somehow never wore for me. Her nails were always done. Her hair was always styled. When I complimented her, she smiled and said, "I'm just trying to feel like myself again." That sentence bothered me. Like herself again? Had she not felt like herself with me? I didn't ask. I wish I had. Then came the phone. Before the promotion, Lauren's phone was basically family property. Emma used it for games. I used it if mine was charging. Lauren left it on the kitchen counter, the couch, the bed. After the promotion, it became part of her body. Always in her hand. Always face down. Always on silent. If Emma reached for it, Lauren snapped. One Saturday morning, Emma asked if she could use Mommy's phone to watch cartoons while we made pancakes. Lauren said no so sharply that Emma started crying. I looked at Lauren and said, "Hey, she just asked." Lauren rolled her eyes. I said no. Why is that a problem? That was the first time I felt something was wrong. Not my wife is cheating wrong. More like there was a locked room inside our marriage, and I wasn't allowed to know what was in it. A few weeks later, Lauren told me her company had given her a second phone for work. She brought home an older black iPhone with a cracked screen protector and said, "This thing is ancient, but whatever." She kept it in her work bag most of the time. That phone would eventually destroy everything. The man's name was Derek. At first, Derek was just someone from work. Someone at work said this restaurant is amazing. Someone at work thinks we should use this software. Someone at work has the same coffee machine we do. Eventually, someone became Derek. Derek was funny. Derek was smart. Derek had terrible taste in music. Derek couldn't believe I didn't like sushi. Derek. I made a joke once. "You talk about Derek more than you talk about me." Lauren laughed too hard. Then she said, "Don't be weird." That phrase became her shield. If I asked why she was home late, "Don't be weird." If I asked who was texting, "Don't be weird." If I asked why she suddenly had plans every Thursday, "Don't be weird." It worked because I didn't want to be that husband. Jealous. Controlling. Insecure. So I stayed quiet. Then one night, Lauren came home after midnight smelling like wine and men's cologne. I was sitting in the living room waiting for her. Emma was asleep upstairs. Lauren walked in, saw me, and sighed like I had inconvenienced her. "You're still up?" "It's almost 1, I said. "It was a work dinner. You said you'd be home by 10. "Things ran late." "With who?" "My team." "Was Derek there?" She laughed. Not a happy laugh. A cold one. "Oh my God. You're jealous of Derek now?" "I didn't say that." "You didn't have to." I stood up. "You smell like men's cologne." For half a second, her face changed. Just half a second. Then she recovered. We hugged goodbye. Adults do that. I wanted to believe her. But that tiny flicker on her face stayed in my head. 2 days later, she changed the passcode on her phone. She said Emma kept buying things in apps. Emma didn't even know the old passcode. I knew that. But again, I said nothing. The breaking point came on a Tuesday. Lauren had a client event downtown. She said she'd be home late, maybe around 11. I made dinner for Emma, helped her with homework, read her 2 chapters from a book, and put her to bed. Around 9:30, I went downstairs and noticed Lauren's work bag sitting by the front door. That was strange. She always took it. Then I saw the old work phone sticking out of the side pocket. She had forgotten it. At first, I just stared at it. I'm not proud of what happened next. But I'm also done pretending I regret it. The phone buzzed. Once. Then again. Then again. The screen lit up. No passcode was needed to see the notifications. Derek. Still thinking about last night. My entire body went cold. Another message appeared. Derek. Can't wait to have you to myself this weekend. I picked up the phone. My hands were shaking. Then another message came in. Derek. Tell him it's a girls' trip again, LOL. Again. That word hit me harder than anything. Again. This wasn't a mistake. This wasn't one bad night. This was a system. I tried a few passcodes. Her birthday. No. Emma's birthday. No. Our anniversary. No. Then I remembered something stupid. Lauren used to use 2580 because it went straight down the keypad. I tried it. The phone unlocked. And there it was. A whole secret life inside a phone. Months of messages. Pictures. Plans. Hotel names. Restaurant reservations. Jokes about me. That was the part one wasn't ready for. The cheating was bad enough. But the way they talked about me did something to my soul. Derek called me roommate. Lauren never corrected him. He wrote. Is your roommate asleep yet? She replied. Probably. He gets tired early like an old man. Another time, Derek wrote. Can't believe you have to go home to him after this. Lauren replied. Don't remind me. I sat on the floor with my back against the wall, reading messages I wish I had never seen. There were messages from nights I remembered clearly. The night Emma had a fever, and I stayed up with her until 3 a.m., Lauren had told me she was at a work dinner. She was at Derek's apartment. The night of my birthday, when Lauren said she had a migraine and went to bed early, she had texted him from our bedroom. Wish I was with you instead. On our anniversary, after I cooked dinner and gave her a necklace, she sent Derek a picture of it. Derek replied. Guilt gift? Lauren wrote. Probably. I don't think I can explain what that felt like. It wasn't just anger. It was humiliation. It was grief. It was like someone had taken every memory I had and poisoned it. But I didn't explode. I didn't call her. I didn't text Derek. I didn't throw the phone across the room. I did something colder. I took pictures. Every message that mattered. Every date. Every hotel booking. Every lie. I sent everything to my email. Then I put the phone back exactly where I found it. At 11:47, Lauren came home. She walked in smiling at her main phone. Then she saw me in the kitchen. Her smile disappeared. "Hey," she said. "Hey. Emma asleep?" "Yeah." She opened the fridge and grabbed water. Too casual. Too normal. I watched her drink and all I could think was, how many times has she kissed him and then come home to kiss our daughter goodnight? She noticed me staring. "What?" I said. "How was the client event?" "Good." "Boring." "Was Derek there?" Her eyes narrowed. "Yes." "Why?" "No reason." She laughed under her breath. "You're doing it again." "Doing what?" "Being weird." There it was. But suddenly that phrase had no power over me anymore. Because now I knew. She didn't know that I knew. And for the first time in months, I had control. I said, "Did you forget something today?" She frowned. "What?" "Your work bag." She looked toward the hallway. Her face drained just enough for me to see it. She walked quickly to the bag, checked the side pocket, and pulled out the old phone. Then she turned back to me. "Did you touch this?" I looked at her. No. It was the first lie I had told her. And I didn't feel guilty. The next morning, I called a lawyer. I told my boss I had a family emergency and took the day off. I met the lawyer at noon, showed him everything, and explained that we had a child, a house, joint accounts, and apparently a marriage built on fraud. He was calm. He told me not to confront her until I was ready. Get documents together. Protect finances. Think about custody. Keep everything civil around Emma. Civil. That word felt impossible. But Emma was my center. So I became calm. Scarily calm. For 2 weeks, I played my part. I packed lunches. Did bedtime stories. Kissed Lauren on the cheek when she left for work. Asked how her day was. She became nervous during that time. I could see it. She started watching me, asking if I was okay. One night, she even tried to initiate intimacy. I said I was tired. She looked offended. Imagine that. My wife was offended that I didn't want to touch her while she was actively cheating on me. During those 2 weeks, Derek kept messaging her. The weekend trip was coming. Lauren told me it was a spa weekend with her friend Amanda. I knew Amanda was real. I also knew Amanda had no idea she was being used as cover, because I called Amanda's husband casually and asked if they were doing anything fun that weekend. He said, "No, why?" That was all I needed. Friday came. Lauren packed a small suitcase. She wore jeans, boots, and a sweater I had bought her. That bothered me more than it should have. She kissed Emma goodbye. Then she came to me. "Don't miss me too much," she joked. I looked at her suitcase. "Where are you staying again?" "The spa resort." "With Amanda?" "Yes." I nodded. "Drive safe." She gave me a strange look. Then she left. I waited until she had been gone for 20 minutes. Then I took Emma to my parents' house. My mother knew enough. Not everything, but enough. She hugged me and asked, "Are you sure?" I said, "I've never been more sure." Lauren had been careless. The messages I saved showed the real hotel name. Not a spa resort. A hotel 2 towns over. I thought about going there. I imagined walking into the lobby, catching them, making a scene, watching her panic. But my lawyer's voice stayed in my head. Do not give her ammunition. So I did something better. I invited Amanda and her husband over. Then I invited Lauren's parents. Then I invited Derek's wife. Yes. Derek had a wife. Her name was Natalie. I found her through social media. I messaged her the night before with screenshots and told her I was sorry. She called me within 10 minutes, crying so hard she could barely talk. She wanted to confront him immediately. I asked her to wait 1 day. Just one. She agreed. Saturday afternoon, everyone was in my living room. Amanda and her husband sat on one couch, confused and nervous. Lauren's parents sat beside each other, stiff and silent. Natalie sat near the window, pale, holding a folder. My dad stood in the kitchen like security. Emma was safely at my parents' house and nowhere near any of this. At 3:12 p.m., Lauren called me. I put it on speaker. "Hey," she said brightly. "Just checking in." I looked around the room. Everyone was silent. I said, "How's the spa?" "Great. Really relaxing." Amanda closed her eyes. I said, "Is Amanda enjoying it?" Lauren paused. "Yeah. She's getting a massage right now." Amanda's husband whispered, "Jesus." Lauren heard something. "What was that?" I said, "Nothing. I have a question." "Okay. Why is Amanda sitting in our living room?" Silence. Absolute silence. Then Lauren whispered, "What?" I said, "Amanda is here. With her husband. Your parents are here too. And Natalie is here." Another silence. Longer this time. Then she said, "Who is Natalie?" Natalie spoke before I could. "Derek's wife." You could hear Lauren stop breathing. Then chaos. "Listen, I can explain," Natalie laughed. It was not a happy sound. Lauren started crying immediately. I said, "Don't come home tonight. Emma is safe with my parents. Your things will be packed by tomorrow. My lawyer will contact you Monday." She sobbed, "Please don't do this." I looked at her parents. Her mother was crying. Her father looked like he wanted to disappear. I said, "You did this." Then I hung up. Derek apparently found out minutes later because Natalie's phone started blowing up. She declined every call. Lauren's parents didn't say much. Her mother kept whispering, "I'm sorry." Her father asked if Emma knew. I said no. He nodded and said, "Good. Keep it that way as long as you can." Lauren came home Sunday morning. Alone. She looked destroyed. I didn't let her inside at first. We stood on the porch. She cried so hard she could barely speak. It wasn't supposed to be like this. That sentence almost made me laugh. What was it supposed to be like? I asked. She wiped her face. I don't know. I wasn't thinking. I opened my phone and read one of her messages out loud. "Tell him it's a girl's trip again, LOL." She flinched. "That sounds like thinking," I said. She covered her face. I was stupid. "No. You were cruel." She looked up. That word hit her. "Good. You didn't just cheat," I said. "You mocked me. In my own marriage. I didn't mean those things. You typed them. I was trying to impress him. With humiliating your husband? She had no answer. Then she said the words I knew were coming. I love you. I hated hearing that. Not because I believed her. Because some broken part of me still wanted it to be true. I said, you loved the life I provided. You loved that I was loyal. You loved that I was home with our daughter while you played single. That's not fair, she whispered. I almost lost it. Fair. She stepped back. I lowered my voice. You do not get to talk to me about fair. I let her pack a bag. I followed her through the house while she did it. Not because I thought she would steal something. Because I no longer trusted her alone in the rooms where my life used to feel safe. She stopped at Emma's room. Can I see her? No. Her face crumpled. She's my daughter. And she's not here. You can see her when we have a plan, and I know you won't fall apart in front of her. I would never hurt her. I looked at her. You already did. She just doesn't understand it yet. That was when Lauren collapsed onto the hallway floor. I didn't comfort her. I called her mother. Her mother came and picked her up. The next few months were hell. Lawyers. Custody talks. Financial documents. Selling pieces of a life I thought was permanent. And then came the hardest conversation of my life. Explaining to Emma that Mom and Dad were going to live in different houses. She cried and asked if it was because she left her toys downstairs too much. That broke me. I held her for 20 minutes and told her no. No, baby. Never. Adults sometimes have problems that kids didn't cause and can't fix. Lauren and I agreed not to tell Emma the real reason until she was much older, if ever. I still think that was the right choice. Whatever Lauren did to me, Emma deserved to love her mother without carrying adult betrayal in her little heart. Derek's wife divorced him too. Natalie and I stayed in contact for a while, mostly sharing legal updates and emotional support. Nothing romantic. People always ask that in stories like this. No. We were just two people standing in the wreckage caused by the same selfish fire. Lauren tried to get me back for months. Letters. Voicemails. Therapy suggestions. Apologies. She sent me one message that said, I miss our family. I replied. So did I, while you were destroying it. Maybe that was cruel. But I don't regret it. The divorce finalized 11 months later. I got 50-50 custody. I kept the house for Emma's stability and refinanced Lauren out of it. Lauren moved into an apartment 15 minutes away. To be fair, she became a better mother after the divorce. Maybe it was guilt. Maybe fear. Maybe consequences finally reached her. But as a wife, that person was gone. Or maybe she had never existed the way I thought. A year after everything, I found the necklace I gave her on our anniversary in a drawer. The same necklace Derek had called a guilt gift. She had left it behind. I held it in my hand and remembered cooking dinner that night. I remembered lighting candles. I remembered being nervous because I wanted the evening to feel special. I remembered her smiling when she opened the box. I remembered believing that smile. That was what hurt the most. Not that she fooled me. But that I had been so easy to fool because I loved her without suspicion. People ask, how didn't you know? Because I trusted my wife. Because I had a child with her. Because when someone says they love you, you don't automatically check if there's a knife behind their back. Now, I'm not the same man. I still work. I still laugh. I still take Emma to school. I still make pancakes on Saturdays. But something in me is quieter now. More careful. Less willing to explain away red flags just because the truth would hurt. Lauren once told Derek he made her feel alive. I hope it was worth it. Because that feeling cost her a marriage, a home, half her daughter's childhood, her parents' trust, and the respect of almost everyone who knew what happened. As for me, I survived. Not quickly. Not cleanly. But I survived. And it all came out because one night, my wife forgot her old work phone at home. A phone she thought was hiding her secret life. Instead, it handed me the truth. And the truth, as brutal as it was, gave me my life back.